morning, CSL Bellingham. Good morning. So lovely to be here with you today. My gratitude today is about myself and my spouse, Patty, are official Washingtonians now. We made it. I want to welcome everybody who's here and give a shout out to everybody who is live streaming with us today. Wherever you are, whatever time zone you're at, you are welcome here. I also want to give you a lay of the land for anyone who's new here present today. There's a welcome packet at the back room, as well as anyone who is in a need of prayer or wants support in something they're attempting to manifest. There's a prayer form that you can fill out, and our lovely practitioners, including me, will pray on your behalf as far as manifesting your healing or your self-expression, all those wonderful things. So I think it's time to turn it over to the band.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our live audience. Welcome to our virtual audience. And please join us in our first song, Everything I Need to Know. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me in the mind of God within me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me, everything I need to do about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to accept about what lies before me, everything I need to accept about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to release about what lies before me, everything I need to release about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me. All right, good job, everybody. Take a moment and say hi to your neighbor. Maybe do the elbow bump. And if you're online, take a minute and say hello in the chat.
Anytime, Eric. Anytime. 1, 2. One, two.
Please stand and join us for My Soul is Welcome Here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Hello, CSL Bellingham. I'm Heidi. Won't you join me in prayer today? I allow that one vast cosmic intelligence to show itself, to express itself in me, through me, and as me. I know that I am connected to all that is. Each of you out there, to the earth, to the sky, to everything. This spirit resides in me and is always available as energy, as joy, as vitality, and as beauty. I am so grateful for this truth of who I am and who we all are. Spiritual beings having a human experience. It is good and very good. And so it is.
Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, love, pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, shine your light. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, sing your song. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit.
One more song.
I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. When I stumble, I lead by the light of my faith, shining both night and day. Shining both night and day. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of peace. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of peace. When I see your face, I see God's light guiding you on your way. Guiding you on your way. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of beauty. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of beauty. And with conviction so sound, I know that now is the time to pray. Now is the time to pray. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love.
Thank you so much. Okay. Wow, I was so eager to get up here. Did you see me? I just hopped out of my chair and just came running up. That's better than seeing me run out the door. Well, good morning again. So today I am wanting us to join in something. What if? What if we had utter conviction and practiced faith in the universal presence? And what if we did this knowing that we were communing with the divine? And that all of our deepest desires, our deepest longings, and our deepest aspirations were responded to by universal law. What if? You know, today I was thinking about the week as I was arriving to today, and the idea that came to me was brilliance breaks through. And I think the what if question kind of tees us up for that idea that there is a brilliance that is seeking to express through each and every one of us in a unique and original way. And so my topic today is Brilliance Breaks Through, and it comes on the heels of our global or annual theme, which is on the brink of everything. And who can argue, have we not been on the brink of everything for this last, I mean, when is this going to be like? The chasm has been really long, a lot of faith, right? And then it also comes on our monthly theme, which is reaching in. And Dr. Andrea has been lovely at bringing us to this awareness of that inner movement within us, that the more that we're attentive to that soul self, through meditation and spiritual practice, the more we can see spirit in action in our individual lives. So when I was thinking about bringing this topic, I thought, I don't want to do that. Because there's always this like little voice that kind of says, the little voice, right? This is what you should do. And I'm like, really? So here goes. And it's very vulnerable for me, but that's where I want to go today after being prodded a few times. When I was thinking about this topic, I couldn't help but to think about my father, Zeph Kacha. And so a little bit about my dad, so you're kind of understand him. He came from Albania. He escaped at 17. He went to Italy. He met my mom. They married. And the United States Army had a recruiting arm in Italy. And so he was recruited and became a naturalized citizen of the United States. He came here and he was absolutely taken by the culture and the ability to, be the rugged individualism, being an entrepreneur and all that. He became very successful. I hadn't seen my father in probably 15 years, and our reunion was very resistant for me because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to let Brilliance break through, or even if he deserved to have me in his life. The sad thing is that it kept us apart for a long time, because my last memories of my father had to do with him leaving the family, becoming an alcoholic, compulsive gambler, ultimately losing all his fortune, becoming a thief, and an arsonist. So when I met him after 15 years, it was me walking across that chasm we were just talking about into Lompoc Penitentiary in Northern California, where he was there for financial crimes. I came in to the visiting portion of the prison to see an illuminated man. And when I arrived to have a conversation with him, I knew something had changed. And as we spoke, he began to talk to me about losing his faith, growing up Sufi in his country of origin, and that he had reaffirmed his faith in Sufism. Sufism is very interesting to me because it is the arm of Islam that has this goal in mind. Our spiritual goal is to experience and have a direct relationship with spirit. I knew at that moment I wanted what he had. And I knew at that moment that I would do anything in my power to pursue that direct relationship with the divine. And my life has been a testament to that as I've, floundered a lot, found my own kind of bearings, and learned to find what worked for me. And that's why this teaching is so important to me and anyone that I have met who kind of takes on to the teaching here, is because it's really you get to decide how you're going to have a spiritual practice, a spiritual relationship with the divine. And it's very individual, yet collectively we have shared value and consciousness around that first question that was the what if I asked. The presence, knowing that there is a universal presence that pulls it all together. And that's our shared sort of idea. How we go there, there's many paths, many paths. The spiritual path doesn't just have one linear way to get where we're going. And what happens to us, I think, and what happened to me when it came to my father was this idea of assumptions. You know, I assumed he did this, that's why he was that way. And don't we do that? They have different color skin, that's why they do this. We have, different political views. All these assumptions we run around with about other. I'm this and there's other. And the truth is that we're all one. And getting there is probably the biggest spiritual battle. And it does take spiritual warriors to just let those assumptions go. So my father introduced me to this wonderful, he was kind of a spiritual idiot. And his name is Nusradin, and his first name's Mullah Nusradin. And he, was a lot of follies. He's written about a lot in Islam. And he, trips over himself all the time. He's making fool of himself in public. He does stupid things. He reminds me a lot of myself, actually. But behind all of that is like such wisdom and truth that he has a lot of students and people who come to him to figure out what exactly it is, not only about him, but what is he teaching? Because there's something so pure about what he offers his students. So there's this time where he's with his students, and one of the students says, "What's the meaning of faith, Mullah?" And Mullah says, "Assumptions." And the student says, "In what way?" Mullah responds, "You assume things are going well, and they don't. That you call bad luck. You assume things are going to go badly, and they don't. That you call good luck. You assume that certain things are going to happen and not happen. And so you lack intuition and tell yourself you don't know what's going to happen. You assume that the future is unknown. And then when you're caught off guard and are surprised, you call it fate." So how many of us do that? I know I do. So when we think about this idea of spirit breaking through, spirit broke through for me that day. And there's plenty of opportunities in our day-to-day life to see it, because it's always happening. I don't know how. In fact, scientists call consciousness the greatest yet unsolved mystery, right? And us as spiritual followers, seekers, wanting to learn more about this universal presence and this idea of a law that works in our behalf, we see consciousness as spirit, as divine. And quantum physics is even catching up to this idea that there's a wave of possibilities. We choose amongst all different kinds of options. The wave collapses and consciousness pushes through and creates on our behalf. It depends on, sometimes, like Mulan says, our assumptions. Is this bad? Is this good? Who's to say? So I was thinking about sometimes also with this brilliance breaks through idea is sometimes brilliance breaks us. It feels like we are just getting crushed under the weight of something so big and so monumental in our lives that we don't know how to look up and see anything different. And it reminds me of a story that I came across that I really loved, and then I began to research Ruth Stone. And Ruth was married to a man by the name of Walter Stone. And he was a very well-published author. And so her whole life and her mandate of life was to grow the children and support him and be in a union together. They bought a farm in Vermont, and there they lived. And she used to love to work the soil. So every day she'd go out, depending on the season. And this one summer day, she was out there working the soil. And lots of vegetables were coming up because it was spring, and she wanted to, make a nice dinner. And so she made her way back to their house. The writer's desk was vacant, which was unusual for Walter. And when she found him, he had hung himself. And so you can only imagine. And some of us even go further and can't imagine. And some of us know. She was devastated. She didn't know what to do. So she turned around and decided that the earth was calling her. And back she went to work the till, to work the soil, working it out. How many of us have done that? You're just trying to work it out, just kind of put some sense into what's happening. And she says one day, to her surprise, the mountains that surrounded her farm were illuminated, and it caught her attention. And then she noticed that there was like this energy that was starting to accumulate, and it was brouhahing together, like very auspicious. Like she thought it was a storm, but it wasn't. And it came together, and she said it just came like at her, and she was paralyzed. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to, she couldn't run. She just sat there, and it went, whew, and it brushed the side of her cheek. She didn't know what it was or what had happened, but she did know this. She wanted to see it again. So she went working the soil. And then sure enough, it did. It happened again. And this time she sat as firmly as she could and waited. And then she was compelled to just jump up off of her knees, and she started just running to her house. And she reports saying that she caught the tail of this and came spinning into the front door, right to the writer's desk, and boom, she wrote poetry about death and the loss of a loved one. Brilliance broke through. Brilliance broke through for my father, who did eventually get released from prison. And during that time, Kosovo had happened and was occurring. The Albanian border, for the first time in almost 100 years, opened to allow freedom for the Albanian people. My father, ironic or not, and how we assumed things, was actually recruited by Catholic Charities in San Diego, California, to welcome the youth into America and to help them to understand our culture and how to assimilate. Brilliance breaks through. Emma Curtis Hopkins, she tells us this really, I'm an impatient person. I don't know if you are too, but sometimes I just want brilliance to break through, like now on my timeline, right? I mean, why wait? It's a good idea. Come on, Spirit. And so my spiritual teacher, Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn, for the last 25 years, handed me a piece of paper that I've kept for all these years. And it reminds me of just exactly what we're talking about. And it's about keeping to your task. Sometimes people have thought that they ought to sit right down in the midst of dishes needing washing and account books needing straightening and refuse to do these tasks because to do them is a sign of belief in labor. It's not yours to demonstrate. The cessation of work, the beginning of a new idea, that experience or relationship you've been looking for, that's not yours to determine. It is yours to demonstrate one thing: to settle your faith. Keep at your tasks, and soon you will see that Spirit will descend upon all the tasks and things that you feel responsible for, and will bring the person to wash the dishes and keep the books. It's a real powerful statement, because what does it do? It goes all the way against all of our assumptions, doesn't it? Doesn't it just kick us in the, really, we can have that kind of faith? Yeah, with patience too. You know, for every action, there's a reaction. But faith is the place to start with this. Because when we're in faith, we're in this idea, again, the what if. There's a universal presence we can commune with, who wants and is wanting to express as individual us, and provides us the mechanism called the universal law to produce and make all of those things manifest and demonstrated in our lives. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of things. And first is this idea that my spouse Patty gave me a while back. It was one of her favorite quotes, so I hope I can quote that you quoted this so that I can share it. And it comes from Ernest Holmes, and he tells us exactly this kind of idea. He says, the vision you must catch and hold is the consciousness of a union so complete and perfect that you find there's no difference between your own being and spirit. The two are the same. So the spiritual challenge that I'm going to put us to task with is that just to watch, see Spirit breaking through, brilliance breaking through in all these unusual and wonderful ways. It's interesting how when we open our eyes and we become aware and want to see, that things start confirming our faith, right? And where the sort of back kick of that is the faith, if we are in sort of negative mindset, can kick into reality and seeing all those things that are a deficit or are things that aren't working. So this is why it's so important to be conscious and to really affirm the good in our lives, and to also surround oneself with good reminders. Because once we leave these doors and we get out in the, regular hustle and bustle of the world, it's easy to forget. And so the remembering and reminding is important. And that's where community comes in. So I'd like us to go ahead and just kind of go into a little bit of a prayer together now. I'm going to do a little spiritual mind treatment and then close for us. And thank you so, so much for the loving welcome today. So just coming into this awareness of that idea of the universal spirit. Only one thing is happening always. In the invisible and the visible, it's that one thing. Spirit moving, universal presence being. It's in our very fiber of our being. It is who we are, and we live as it. It's knowing this and feeling this and absolutely magnifying this in my own heart and in my whole soul, that I know this truth for each and every person here. That there is a dynamic, universal presence that is working through each and every fiber of each and every being here and on the planet. And so it's in this space that I'm so grateful for this, for brilliance breaking through, for our awareness in seeing it, recognizing it, and surrounding ourselves with others who remember when we forget. And so in this, I'm so grateful. And for this time and this place and being with each of you here at CSL Bellingham, I give great thanks. So I release this knowing it's already done. We say yes and yes and yes, and affirm with me now if you agree, and so it is. Kids coming around. Woo! Our community is completely sustained by donations. Your donations are welcomed, and we are so grateful for your attendance, and any donations are much appreciated. So the offertory basket will be passed around now.
These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive all the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace? Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive love? Are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive all the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace? Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive compassion? Are you ready? Forgiveness, are you ready? Laughter, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive all the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace? Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive passion? Are you ready? Success, are you ready? Abundance, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Hey, there we go.
Let's hear it again for the band. Thank you so much. And for our tech team who's been here making this all happen for us. And to each other, and hello online. We're going to just move into announcements. We're going to really go fast this time, I promise. I have an announcement around this multi-faith network for climate change. And as you can see in the back here, we have created a web which you can go ahead and take a piece of cloth and write an affirmation for climate and climate change, and go ahead and tie it up to the web. And that web, it will be here for 2 more Sundays. And so we welcome that, because this is sort of that idea of consciousness and bringing that consciousness into a deeper and further ripple effect into the world. And now I'm just going to turn it over to Heidi for her conclusion with announcements.
Yeah, there's quite a bit happening. Today, for the first time, is it the fourth Sunday of each month? This Sunday at 4 o'clock, a prayer and meditation for the earth via Zoom. You can call and get that Zoom link. And this is Dr. Joe Dispenza's Project Coherence Meditation, with CSL practitioners helping with that. Kathy Angel there's still time, right, to join the book study on Hope Matters. I think that's already been one, but there are 3 more sessions on that. Because of these times of doom and gloom and crisis mode that we've been in for a while, this helps. This is a solution-focused book and really inspiring stories that make it really personal and can kind of help us through this time, although we've been helped a lot in many ways. Okay, my forte here, Day of the Dead, coming up. Next Sunday, Halloween, we will have tables up here with altars set up. Bring photographs of your beloved dead, and pets, of course, are welcome. Bring flowers, any mementos you want, and we'll be leaving these altars up for 1 week to honor and memorialize our dead, our beloved dead. And then the following week, November 7th, there will be a short service after the service, a little ceremony honoring our dead, kind of consistent with all the traditions in the world that honor the dead during this season. All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, usually celebrated in November for the Celtic tradition, and the Day of the Dead from Mexico. These are all this is a trifecta celebration of the dead that we're doing here and we do every year. Also, by this Wednesday, if you haven't signed up to get the Haunted Harvest lunch takeout, which is going to be delivered next Sunday from noon to 1:30, sign up for that. Our chef Lori and helpers are offering this wonderful lunch, takeout lunch. So there are some great things like ear of corn and eye of newt salad. So you'll want to be really hungry for some of that. Let's see. Day of the Dead. Oh, also following the Day of the Dead celebration that day, November 7th, is a death cafe. I don't know if you've thought about this lately, but we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We have a terminal condition, and that's life. And so if you want to think about that and talk about that on Zoom with others, we're doing a death cafe, which is a tradition started about 15 years ago in England. And it was started by a guy named John Underwood. And it's called a death cafe because you talk about death, and there's tea and cake, usually. You'll have to do that yourself from home on Zoom. But so it's just an informal chance to talk about things related to death that we've kind of silenced ourselves from. So I think is that it? Anybody missing anything here? No, I think we're good. Oh, also just to check on your announcements. Every month there's advanced care planning offered by Hillary Walker, who's actually been here at CSL and helped you get through your advanced care planning directives, health directives, end of life stuff I'm talking about here too. So check that out if you haven't done it yet. It's a way to complete your paperwork. And I think that's all, and it wasn't really that short, was it? Okay.
Okay.
And it count us up.
It's kind of fast. Let's do a do-over on that one. This little light of mine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all all know this one. Why don't you stand and sing with us? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When the children come, I'm gonna let it shine. When the children come, I'm gonna let it shine. When the children come, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Have a great week, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4.